Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Nitya Guru Haribo, 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 Guru Haribo. Jai Sri Radha Govinda Ji ki Jai. Guru Vrinda ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai. So, welcome devotees. In our last class, we were in the portion of where Lord Krishna was recommending that actually Arjuna should continue to do his work, and that this whole material creation was made for the living entities, to gradually come back to him. That is the arrangement. And for that purpose, the Lord himself has instituted various kinds of jagyas. The Lord himself instituted various kinds of jagyas. And by performing those jagyas according to the varnas and ashrams, one will get all that is looking for in the material world, and it will also be gradually elevated. So that is the arrangement of the Varnashram Dharma. By doing your prescribed duty, you'll be gradually elevated until you eventually attain the desired goal. So that was so that in charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods being satisfied by the performance of jagya and sacrifice will supply all necessities. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. That by that arrangement, the Lord himself has positioned various demigods in the universal management as departmental heads. So when those who are below perform the jagyas according to the Vedas, that means following the Vedic formula, the demigods will receive their jagya, because the demigods are there to receive the jagya. Those jagyas are meant for pleasing the demigods, because they're in charge, just like in a company. Different duties are given to different departmental heads, so that when they become pleased with a particular worker, they will now recommend him for more blessings, and they will bless him. Whatever he's looking for, as long as he's doing his duty, they will give him his blessing. So in that mood, the demigods are put in the universal affairs to fulfill, to receive the jagyas performed by all those who are down. Then they give their blessings accordingly. So those who do that, they will be gradually elevated. But conversely, those who fail to do their jagyas, who do not do their prescribed duties according to the Vedic formula, they are like thieves. Thieves, because whatever they are looking for, whatever they are already enjoying, are already being supplied. But they are not doing their own part of the contract. Therefore, they are trying to enjoy the properties without recognizing the proprietor. So that makes them thieves. So for a thief can never be happy in any society he finds himself, because all the laws are against him. All the security agents are looking for him. They can trap him anytime, anywhere he goes, there's a security agent. So a thief is never happy. Just like the rats, as they are stealing, every time they are hiding from one corner to the other, they hide from one dark place to another. Every time in the daytime, they don't come out. In the night also, they are very careful. Just like somebody who has stolen our cows now. A thief, he can never walk freely because government will arrange to trap the thief. They have all kinds of mechanisms to trap the thief if they are determined to trap him. And one day they will just trap him and give him serious punishment, compounded punishment. So this is what happens when human beings do not act according to the regulations. And that is why Krishna took time to explain the yoga ladder, that below the base, at the base, is a multitude of people, everybody who are living like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They don't care about anything higher. How can I get food? They depend on their own ability, looking for food and just the goal of life to eat, sleep, mate, and defend in a better way than the animals. That's all. But that is just the goal of life. They don't have any higher goals. Their activities are not regulated by scriptures. So just a bit higher than them are the karma candies. They are called V-kamis. Among the V-kamis, now some people become the karma candies. The karma candies are those who now recognize that there are higher authorities and that there are rules and regulations governing this world, and there are jagyas we must perform. If we are a brahmachari, your jagyas are different. If you are a grihastha, your jagyas are different. If you are a vanaprastha, your jagyas are different. And if you are a sannyasi, your jagyas are different. You see? On the other hand, according to the Vanas also, if you are a Brahmana, your jagyas are different. You are a Kshatriya, your jagyas are different. You are Vaishya, Shudra, your jagyas are different. So in this way, when one acts according to the regulations within his Vana and Ashram, the demigods will be satisfied also. Then automatically the person will start getting purification. So when scriptures are brought in to regulate activities, those who recognize that scriptural regulations are necessary, they become the karma candidate. They are not pure devotees, so they are looking for economic, they want to do religiosity for economic development. They want to do religiosity for economic development. So like all the different Indians you see, they come and perform this ritual, they perform that ritual. And actually it is said that householders will perform all those rituals, because those are the injunctions, those are the formula, Sastric injunctions, Vedic regulations for householders. Perform the jagya, because so many things so many sinful reactions you will get unknowingly while trying to do household life. So all the regulations are there, and you do it. And those who stick to those regulations and think that those regulations are the goal of life, the jagya, then they are called the karma candies. And Srila Vyasadeva took time. More than 80% of the Vedas are glorifying Kamakanda. And those who are doing it, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. All the detailed formulas are given. So he spent time. He spent time explaining this, elaborating on this. He spent time. He wrote volumes and volumes of books just glorifying Kamakanda. But after doing that, he was not still satisfied. So as he was thinking, even his incarnation of the Supreme, he immediately realized that it's because he has not specifically glorified the Supreme Lord. He has not exclusively glorified the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he needed to do something in that direction. Immediately, his spiritual master appeared. Narada Muni appeared. And he confirmed, said, yes, what you are thinking is right. It is because you have not exclusively glorified the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why you are not happy. So now, in this your maturity now, you are now mature. Now separately compile this, the essence of the Vedas to glorify. Let everybody know that all the ritualistic ceremonies is not the end, though. They are purification processes to bring you to a certain level where you can now begin to recognize the Supreme. But doing this, we are giving you a sense of subordination to authority. And when that one graduates, when it intensifies and graduates into knowing that somebody is still higher than the demigods, then your search for the Supreme Lord begins. But this process, if you follow it, definitely you will gradually be purified, and you'll be going progressively until you come to that higher realization. That is the Kamakanda aspect. Then, when a Kamakandi adds yoga means to link, and in this case, to link with the Supreme. So when this person realizes that there are higher beings that say, okay, in this time, they are even demigods. They are demigods, not the Supreme even, but they are higher beings. So when I do all this work, when I get the results, I should give some part of the results. I should link up with those who are in charge of the universal administrators of all these facilities I'm enjoying. Then in that linking process, yoga is added. Then the activities become karma yoga. Okay. Then at the beginning stage, they are attached to the work. They are attached to the result also. They do the work, but they want the result also. So they are called, that level of yoga is called Sakama Kama Yoga. Sakama Kama Yoga. Then when Sakama Kama Yoga intensifies, when it increases, and when it is consistent, it graduates into what is called Niskama Kama Yoga. And on the platform of Niskama Kama Yoga, you are acting, you are attached to the activity, but you are not completely attached to the results. So you offer some more percentage of the results in the service of God, in humanitarian activities, in trying to please the higher beings who are bestowing the benedictions on you. You see? So it is gradual purification and elevation. See, gradual elevation. Then when that one intensifies, now there is attachment to work, then there is some level of detachment from the results. Attachment to the work, but some level of detachment from the result is there. So you are offering some part of the result to glorify God. So that is called Niskama Kama Yoga. That's, you are going further. Then when Niskama Kama Yoga intensifies, your level of detachment becomes higher. That means you are attached to the work. You are not going to give up the work. You will do it. But the result, most of the result or part of the result, you offer it in the service of God. Half of the result. It's like an advance. You are advanced a little bit from just Sakama. So you are now Niskama. You are detached. Is karma plus knowledge plus detachment. Okay, karma plus detachment. Now later, karma plus detachment plus knowledge. But when you begin to do this activity, purification takes place. Then eventually you're going to realize that you are not this body, you are spirit. So that the spiritual has a relationship with the Supreme Soul. So it intensifies to Jnana Yoga. Karma plus detachment plus knowledge of your real identity. Then when that one intensifies, it intensifies into karma plus detachment plus knowledge plus meditation. That means you become constantly fixed in meditating on the Supreme. You want to serve him, you are seeing him in all activities. This is advanced stage of Niskama Kama Yoga. Niskama Kama Yoga purifies you and graduates you into Astanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, then Astanga Yoga, where meditation is added. When Bhakti is added to that, all these lower levels, then it becomes Bhakti Yoga. But still, even the advanced stage of Kama Yoga is also the beginning stage of Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga, there is Bhakti in Niskama Kama Yoga, and there is Bhakti in Jnana Yoga, and there is Bhakti in Astanga Yoga. Then there is Bhakti in, when all this devotion is added, it becomes Bhagavad Arpita, Niskama Kama Yoga. You are acting, devotion is added to detachment, knowledge, meditation, and finally devotion. So it becomes complete. This is Bhakti Yoga. So all these were described. But we say, if you are doing your duty, I bet you don't care for any higher control or any formula, You are not better than a thief. So Krishna is explaining to Arjuna the importance of working by recognizing the universal administrators offering the result. That this kind of work is better than giving up your work and going into the forest. You want to renounce without getting purified, that the result will be bad. So do your duty. Do your duty, and so by example, by offering the result of your duty to Krishna. If you just give up and you go into the forest, you are like a false sannyasi, somebody who has put on the sannyas clothes, saffron clothes, only for the sake of making a living. That a sincere householder who does this is purificatory work according to Ivana Ashram is better than such a cheating sannyasi. And that even a sincere street sweeper, somebody sweeping the street, he has taken it as his duty. See, and he's sincerely doing it. He says, such a sincere street sweeper is even better than the charlatan meditator who put on saffron dress and to go and collect money to go and gratify his senses at the end of the day. So Krishna is emphasizing that Arjuna must do his work. It is better to do your duty, but be offering the results to God. Better do it than to renounce and give up. People will follow that bad example in the future that Arjuna did this. So it's emphasizing this. Okay? Because Arjuna was asking Krishna, you told me to do karma, and later you told me to work with knowledge, Jnana Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is more peaceful. And when you do it, you begin to meditate on the Lord, you offer out the result, you become a Quipos, you are a yogi, you become a Stiraji Muni. This one, there is no violence or fighting and killing people. So this is preferable. So Arjuna wanted to intelligently corner Krishna to avoid fighting so they can go to the forest. And that's a preferable alternative. So Krishna told him, no, it is not preferable. At this point, you must get purification before you can renounce. But if you do like that, you're like a river Falgu. The top, there is sand. All under is water. There is no renunciation. Artificially, you wear the dress, but you have a lot of desire inside your mind. And then you spoil the whole business for the true renunciants. Because people will come and realize that they will think that all renunciants are cheats because of you. So don't do that. Don't encourage that. Don't show bad example. So do your prescribed duty. And if you think that this is what I'm telling you is just too much for you and you cannot renounce, you are now confused. You are telling me to recommend one thing for you to do precisely and make it clear to you. I'm making it clear to you that do your prescribed duty as enjoined in the Vana and the Ashram, the Vanashram system. I have created it. That is the purpose of creation. And I've given rules and regulations. If you follow them, you'll be gradually elevated. So that is what I want you to do. So in the course of explaining this, is making these current verses. And verse 13 now is going to let us see this. Krishna replies in the next two verses to Arjuna. Because we say, if you don't do your duty, if you don't recognize the demigods and you are enjoying what they are providing, you are like a thief. And as a thief, you cannot be happy. Therefore, don't do that. Instead, do this. So, verse 13. Verse 13, let's go to verse 13. Chapter 3, verse 13. Jagyasistantino santo, mushyante sarvakil bisai, punjate tetu agam papa, ye pashanti atmakarana. Ye pashanti atmakarana. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So somebody should read the purport. Who is reading the purport, please?
Purport. The devotees of the Supreme Lord, or the persons who are Krishna consciousness, are called santas, and they are always in love. They are always in love with the Lord, as it is described in the Brahma Samhita. Vimanchana Chirita Bhakti Vilocenena Santa Sadaiva Vedayesu Vilokayanti. The santas, being always in a compact of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, the giver of all pleasures, or Mukunda, the giver of liberation, or Krishna, the all-attractive person, cannot accept anything without first offering it to the Supreme Person. Therefore, such devotees always perform yajna in different modes of devotional service, such as Shravanam, Ketanam, Smaranam, Archanam, etc. And these performances of yajnas keep them always aloof from all kinds of contamination of sinful association in the material world. Others who prepare food for self or sense gratification are not only thieves, but also the eaters of all kinds of sin. How can a person be happy if he is both a thief and sinful? It is not possible. Therefore, in order for people to become happy in all respects, they must be taught to perform the easy process of Sankirtan Yajna in full Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there can be no peace or happiness in the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, any question on this? Any question on this? Therefore,
Yeah,
such
about
devotees.
the last sentence of the purport.
Okay.
Therefore, in order for people to become happy in all respects, they must be taught to perform the easy process of Sankirtan Yajna in full Krishna consciousness. So, in full Krishna consciousness,
Mm. In full Krishna
it must
consciousness.
full
Otherwise,
Krishna. Otherwise, there can be no
there
peace.
can be no peace or happiness.
In full
Yes.
Krishna consciousness, Sankirtan Yajna is talking about must
Yes.
be in full Krishna.
Because
Can you elaborate?
those jagyas actually, they are not meant for devotees. Those different worship of demigods and all that, they are not meant for bhaktas. And they are meant for in the karma yogis or kamis, or even they are still meant for the karma kandis also, so that they should put those regulations into their life. They should regulate their lives with the Vedic injunctions. But it is actually true that in this age of Kali, people cannot do everything properly as before. Even the Kamakanda session, the various priests you see, they can't do, they have no potency, they don't have the required purity to chant the mantras properly and offer oblations in a way that they will get the results. You see, they were very powerful, priests were very powerful. They really knew the art of doing it, but now people are speculating. So in order to avoid adverse results, though trying to do that is good, better than that is to actually do devotional service. All those other processes, common conduct processes, are to gradually purify people and bring them to the doorstep of devotional service. They are steps on the path to Bhakti. So in the last sentence, Srila Prabhupada is saying, since it is difficult to have qualified people to do all those jagyas perfectly, according to the Vedic regulations, the best process is the best jagya is the jagya recommended for this age, the Sankirtan jagya, simply by chanting and glorifying the holy name of the Lord, as enunciated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the only process. And you have to do that in full Krishna consciousness. Full Krishna consciousness means you are just glorifying the Lord for his pleasure. And even though you are not fully Krishna conscious, you do it, you get some purification, but you get the maximum benefit when you are doing it to please Krishna. So that is it. And as bhaktas, only bhaktas can do, only devotees can do, those who have reached the platform of devotional service can appreciate this Sankirtan and do it. And therefore, they are actually considered the most intelligent people. And they have passed through all those Vedic ritualistic ceremonies for many, many lifetimes before in this lifetime, they have arrived at the doorstep of Bhakti. So they are very glorious. And they do it, and they do it with all their hearts. So when you surrender before you do these activities, it is all devotional service. But when you have not surrendered and you are doing the activities and you are surrendering some of the results of the activities, then you have not reached the point of devotional service yet. So you can be still getting some reactions. But when you get to the point whereby you surrender yourself, even if you don't do those things perfectly, Krishna will just look at your innermost intention and receive it as bhakti. That's why it's called Bhavagrahi Janardana. He who responds to the innermost intention of the devotees. Okay. See? You see the society of thieves? The society
So
of thieves.
does it mean that should be the mindset when performing Sankirtan Yajna?
If for Sankirtan Jagya, your mindset should be also pure. But even if you have not arrived, you are still considered higher than the Kama Kandis or all those who are Niskama Kama Yogis or Sakama Kama Yogis. But the full thing is to do it with pure consciousness. But if you are doing it, even without pure consciousness, you will still get some results higher than what you can get on the lower levels. But the Prabhupada appreciates. That's why when sometimes they ask the Prabhupada, how many pure devotees do you have in your movement? That and the devotees were about 500 and something. Say, how many devotees do we have in ISKCON? They say about 500 and something. Say, yes, they are all pure devotees. Some are already pure and others are in the making. Then he gave the analogy of the green mango. As long as the fruit remains on the tree, as long as we are in the process of Krishna, as long as we are in the boat of Krishna consciousness, it's a matter of time. It will become ripe, just like others became ripe as they stayed on the tree. As long as you stay on the tree, you will become ripe. So keep on doing your devotional service. Yeah, you become a pure devotee. That attempt to do the thing itself is the purificatory process too. You see? So that's why there are seva apparatus. The seva apparatus are there, but you continue to do the service, even with the apparatus. More service, then the apparatus will gradually go. So that is it. You don't become perfect all of a sudden. But even though you are not perfect yet, as long as you are into the process, it's a matter of you refining your consciousness. Stay in the process. Keep on practicing. You will eventually arrive. That is it. Got it? Therefore, such devotees always perform jagyas in different modes of devotional service. No, let me even go a bit higher. The Santas, being always in compact of love with the Supreme Personality of God and Govinda, the giver of all pleasure, Mukunda, the giver of liberation, or Krishna, the all-attractive person, cannot accept anything without first offering it to the Supreme Lord. That is, devotees on different mellows. they must offer their food before they, and that offering is to remove the Krishna, take away any reaction that is tease. Otherwise, they said that even if you are a householder and you just cook, even you are a devotee, you cook. When you are pounding your spices, you are killing a lot of living entities. When you set your fire, you are killing a lot of living entities. Even as you are breathing, you are killing a lot of living entities. You see, that's why it is compulsory, it is mandatory to perform all those Panchama Jagya, about 5 kinds of Jagya that are specified for everybody, except especially if you are a householder. You see, you have to do those Jagyas. Then those who are more attached, they do all kinds of Deva Jagyas. You see, Deva Jagyas, but the one who is on the path of devotionals will eventually do Bhagavad Apita, Niskama Kama Yoga. You do Jagya for the pleasure of the Lord, and that ultimate Jagya is Harinam Sankirtan, recommended for this age. You see, but otherwise, any level you are, follow the processes, offer your food to Krishna, then Krishna take away the reaction. Otherwise, every morsel of food is a handful of sin one is eating. Anyone who doesn't offer his food before eating is eating sin only. So the Jagya is very, very important. And the goal of the Jagya is to please Vishnu. And Vishnu or Krishna, that is the ultimate goal. That is why Jagyas are being performed. The demigods are also performing Jagyas only to please Vishnu, though they eat part of the sacrifice as the different arms of Vishnu. But ultimately, they also have to offer everything to Vishnu. Then when Vishnu is satisfied, automatically the demigods are also satisfied. You see, so if you performing Jagya and demigods are not, Vishnu is not going to be satisfied, then the Jagya is a failure. Remember, Daksha was performing Jagya in the Srimad Bhagavatam. When Jagya was performing his first Jagya, he invited all the other demigods, and the assembly was big assembly of universal beings. Then Lord Brahma was there, Lord Shiva was already there. Then Daksha entered the arena. He is the chief performer of Jagya. That is his universal duty. Perform different kind of Jagyas. Gather everybody perform. So when he entered, everybody stood up because he was very powerful, full of energies, effulgence. Daksha, powerful, when powerful person entered, not even short powerful person enters, people will know that powerful person. This one is huge, well built, full of effulgence and elegance and authority. And he entered, everybody bowed down immediately. Everybody stood up, and those who couldn't, they bowed down. But Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva were sitting quietly. And then look at Brahma. Okay, Brahma is my father. But what about Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is my son-in-law. He married my daughter. So one who has married my daughter is technically inferior to me. So who does he think he is? Why is he sitting silently as if he's superior to me? So he couldn't take, because Lord Shiva is actually higher than even Brahma. But Brahma knows it. But Daksha was becoming envious of Lord Shiva. So out of that envy, everything transformed into anger. He became so angry at Lord Shiva that he started talking ill about him, just measuring him from the external, looking at his clothes, how he dressed, how he's surrounded by ghosts, and he's actually unclean. He used all kinds of words for Lord Shiva, insulting him. And his eyes like the eyes of a monkey. He went gross, insulting. That means his daughter was superior to him. He's not even free to marry his daughter. But he had given his daughter to him because of Lord Brahma's advice. And now he's here doing as if he's. So he was so offensive to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva left the arena. Lord Shiva followers came. When he left the arena, in anger, Lord Shiva followers came. They wanted to attack Daksha, but some Brigu and other demigods Brigu chanted some mantras, and some powerful beings appeared and chased away Lord Shiva's follower. He went back. Then Shiva didn't get his own portion of the Jagya. He went and they continued to perform the Jagya. Then next one, Daksha arranged another Jagya again. This time Lord Shiva refused to go because he was not even invited. There was no, his mantras were not even chanted. In fact, Daksha ignored him completely. He ignored him completely. Then the wife, the daughter wanted to go and attend this ceremony because all our sisters are coming from different places. Like during Christmas, people are coming from different villages to their main village. So they have opportunity to see their brothers and sisters. So that kind of opportunity was there. She wanted to be part of it. She had been living with Shiva under the trees, and she has some ornaments and clothes that were given to her by her father. She wanted to use them also and dress nicely like her other sisters and demigods who have been flying in the sky going for this ceremony. Lord Shiva told her not to go because Daksha will not recognize her because of his offenses towards him. She went, however, and she set her body on fire because Shiva's word came to life. And when Lord Shiva heard it, he became very angry. And he created a demon. And this demon went back there to the sacrificial arena. And he devastated the whole arena. And he even killed, he killed the Daksha himself. He cut off his head, uprooted Brigumuni's mustache, knocked down the teeth of some other demigods, broke the hands and limbs. So Lord Brahma, they had to run to Lord Brahma to pacify to plead to Lord Brahma to follow them to go and see Lord Shiva. They did. And Lord Shiva forgave them and came back and restored Daksha. But because his head has already been thrown into the fire and it's been burned to ashes, they had to replace Daksha's head with the head of a goat. The sacrificial goat, they use the head to replace Daksha's. And so if you are performing Jagya, and if you are performing your Jagya on the platform of offenses to devotees, and in disregard of the Supreme Lord, who is supposed to be Jagya Purusha, Vishnu, then your sacrifice will just bring bad, sinful results, to bring inauspiciousness. So until Vishnu or the Daksha he performed another Jagya on the direction of Lord Shiva, and now he has come to his senses, even though with the head of a goat, he is very intelligent, and that will tell you that it is not the body, it is the consciousness that is actually, doing everything, not the body. Even the body was off, but even the body of a goat, he was still very, very intelligent. He did all the Jagya, he performed, he pacified Lord Shiva very well, take a humble position and worked according to it. And Vishnu appeared. When Vishnu appeared, everybody of our patients, including Lord Shiva, because Vishnu was beyond, and everybody prayed to him accordingly. So when Vishnu appeared, everybody was satisfied. The Jagya was successful. Everybody got his own share of it, and every problem was settled. So if Jagya is to please Vishnu, Vishnu is also called Jagya, and you are doing your Jagya whimsically, without following the proper guidance, and with some offenses in your mind, you cannot get the desired result. You see. So if you cannot perform well, you better take shelter of the simple process recommended for this age. If you do this one, you can do it perfectly, very easily, and you get the desired result. It's very simple, very melodious, chanting and dancing, then you get the ultimate result. Why don't you go for that? You want to do something complicated. Okay, in that mood, this verse was spoken, that Jagya Sistantino Santo Mushiante Savake Busai. Unjate te tu agam papa, ye pachanti at makaranat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So more of it, more description, how the universe goes, how the management goes. The next verse. Anat Bhavanti Bhutani Parjanya Danasam Baba Jagyat Bhavati Parjanyo Jagya Karma Samud Baba. All living bodies subsist on full grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of Jagya, sacrifice, and Jagya is born of prescribed duties. Doing one's prescribed duties according to the Vedic formula is itself Jagya. So somebody should read the purport. Very important purport. There is a cycle.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu, I wanted to ask
Okay.
a question regarding the story you told us about Dakshan and Lord Shiva. The Dakshan that was beheaded by the demon created by Lord Shiva, is it the same Dakshan that Illuminatis used? Because I think I see something like that in their symbol.
With the head of a goat. It's possible,
Yes.
but I don't know much, but it's possible. It could be him. I don't want to speculate. But it could be him.
Okay.
Yes. But very intelligent. Daksha was very intelligent. Most of those practices, they extract them from the Vedic, scriptures, from the Vedas.
Yeah, most of them.
Yes. They just take that aspect of the Vedas, follow, worship the deity, and make it a cult.
Yeah,
Convert.
yeah. They worship the demigods
Yeah.
for their purpose and make it a god, and then
Yes, yes.
they turn into a god.
If you want to do music, there is a particular god, and it's a cult. You join it, then you follow the rules and regulations. They recognize you, they promote you, and you become very popular. After your popularity, the time elapses, you have to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
you have to go. You can't say, no, I want to change my name. No, they will not give you the chance. You go or you bring somebody to replace yourself. Somebody should read the purport for us now, please.
Abu, I would have read, but because of network, you see how many times I've logged in today. I'm in the road.
Purport.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, a great commentator on the Bhagavad Gita, writes as follows. Yendradi Angatyavasti Tam Yajnam Savasaram Vishnu Abhaja Tatsam Santi Tena Jasdeha Yatram Sampadyanti Tejanta Savasrasa Yajna Guru Sasya Bhakti Savavikira Anaditala Veda Atmanu Pacham Kalanisi Nikilai Papar Mustake. The Supreme Lord, who is known as Yajna Purusha, or the personal beneficiary of all sacrifice, is the master of all the demigods, who serve him as the different limbs of the body serve the whole. Demigods like Indra, Chandra, and Varuna are appointed officers who manage material affairs, and the Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light, and water sufficiently to produce food grain. When Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods, who are different limbs of the Lord, are also automatically worshipped. Therefore, there is no separate need to worship the demigods. For this reason, the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness offer food to Krishna and then eat, a process which nourishes the body spiritually. By such action, not only are fast simple reactions in the body vanquished, but the body becomes immunized to all contamination of material nature. When there is an epidemic disease, an antiseptic vaccine protects a person from the attack of such an epidemic. Similarly, food offered to Lord Vishnu and then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material affection, and one who is accustomed to this practice is called a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, a person in Krishna consciousness who eats only food offered to Krishna can counteract all reactions of past material infections, which are impediments to the progress of self-realization. On the other hand, one who does not do so continues to increase the volume of sinful acts. This prepares the next body to resemble ox and dog, to suffer the resultant reactions of all things. The material world is full of contamination, and one who is immunized by accepting prasadam of the Lord, food offered to Vishnu, is saved from the attack, whereas one who does not do so becomes subjected to contamination. Food grains or vegetables are factually eatable. The human being eats different kinds of food grains, vegetables, fruits, etc., and the animals eat the refuse of the food grains and vegetables, grass, plants, etc. Human beings who are accustomed to eating meat and flesh must also depend on the production of vegetation in order to eat the animal. Therefore, ultimately, we have to depend on the production of the field and not on the production of the big factories. The field production is due to sufficient rain from the sky, and such rains are controlled by demigods like Indra, sun, moon, etc. And they are all servants of the Lord. The Lord can be satisfied by sacrifice. Therefore, one who cannot perform them will find himself in scarcity. That is the law of nature. Yajna, specifically the Sankirtan Yajna, prescribed for this age must therefore be performed to save us at least from scarcity of food supply. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So this
Hare,
is the
Hare,
proof.
Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare.
Sorry, I have a question.
Oh yeah, bring your
Um,
question.
okay. If someone, for example, a practicing devotee who works in a company where if they go to the field and go back to the house at night, yeah, fine. While leaving your house in the morning, you eat a food that is offered to Krishna. Then why in the job? How can someone offer a fruit, something like a fruit you bought to just calm the hunger before you get home? How can you offer it to Krishna there in your
Yeah,
office?
you just quietly get a plate. You put it on inside the plates, clean plates. Then you just say your prayer silently. You can envisage your deity that you are the picture you have in your house or the deity in the temple. In your meditation, you can offer the fruit or whatever you buy. Even before you buy it, you are offering it. Even in the buying process, you are offering your meditation is you are buying it for the Lord. Let the Lord eat it so that the Lord hears. is faster than your mind. So you will just hear what is coming up from your mind. And
Okay, okay.
yeah, when external situations are not in place, the Lord responds to your innermost intention. That's why it's called Baba Grahi Janada. The Lord who responds to our innermost intention. When the external circumstances are not favorable, the Lord knows and we accept any effort. You've forgotten the South Indian Brahmana. Even poor person, very poor Brahmana, he had a strong desire to offer sweet rice. So every day in his mind, he will do all the pujas. He will go and collect all the paraphernalias in his mind and he do the pujas. And he offer his food. In meditation, all in meditation. But one day he decided to see whether this food, the sweet rice was cold enough. Put his hand, he burnt his hand. You see? Your mind is actually closer to you than your body. So what you do with the body is more of in the external than what you even do with your mind. That's why when you are chanting, you say mindful chanting, mindful reading. Understand? So if in your mind you buy
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
food, you just close off. Even as the vehicle is moving, even other people are sitting around you. You can't just close. Nobody knows what you are thinking in your mind. You just offer the whole thing. And you take it. Yes. The Lord will
Yeah,
look after
okay,
you.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Aribo.
So, what of this offering we usually recite the Sri Vishnu is like
No,
we are
even higher than the Sri
that one
Vishnu
that
is to just meditate in your mind. You silently chant your mantra in your mind. Because in the
so this
external, the people you are with, they don't know what you are doing. They will think that you are doing something else. So you just take some prayerful posture and in your mind, you are chanting your mantra, you offer your food. Even you join your palm together, they will know that that is the way of prayer. You pray before you eat. That's what they see. But what you say, they don't hear. And you are not going to light incense and begin to offer something to the day, some pictures in your book. No, you will not do all that. Because of the environment and the people you are with, you have to apply situational intelligence to offer your food. You offer according to time, place, and circumstance. Okay? When you are at home, you can make an elaborate arrangement. You cook, you have plates for the deities, you serve them. But when you are on the way, when you are in the workplace, when you are traveling, you make situational offerings, and the Lord will accept. Enjoying it even. Say, hey, this guy is very conscious. Even in this condition, he's making an attempt to offer. Let me just take it. He has taken it. Understand? So that's the formula. So, but the point mentioned, stressed in this verse is that when Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods who are different limbs of the body are also automatically worshipped. This is the most important point. Therefore, there is no separate need to worship the demigods. He's talking about devotees now, those who have arrived at the doorstep of devotional service. Just worship the Supreme Lord, and you don't need to care to worship the demigods separately. This one is supplying moonshine, I worship him. This one is supplying sunshine, I go and follow the process of worshiping it. We are not kami's anymore. We are not any kind of kami again. We are bhaktas now. How many 33 million demigods can you worship all of them and satisfy all of them? You cannot. So you just worship the Supreme Lord, and that worshiping the Supreme Lord is considered to be watering the root of a plant. When the root is watered, automatically the leaves and branches are nourished. Automatically, the leaves and the branches are nourished. And when you send food to the stomach, automatically all the hands and the legs energized. All the body, the eyes, the ears, everywhere is energized. Just by sending the food to the stomach. And that is tantamount to worshiping the Supreme Lord. Therefore, you have no need to worship all the other demigods. After all, you cannot worship properly. So you are lucky you are in contact with the Supreme Lord. That's why there is a sloka in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam 4:31-14. 4:31-14. Yata taramulani sheshanena tripyam titaskanda bujo pasaka pranopahara chayatendriyanam tataiva sarvaranam achutaja. As pouring water on the roots of a tree energizes the trunks, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body. Similarly, worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are part of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. You get it? So this is the point stressed in the purport, the purpose purport. And for this reason, the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness offer food to Krishna and then eat, a process which nourishes the body spiritually. Okay? By such action, not only are past sinful reactions in the body vanquished, but the body becomes immunized to all contaminations of material nature. Okay? All contaminations. So prasadam is very, very powerful. When you offer your food, then you take the remnants. It uproots the tree of sinful reaction from previous life and immunizes your body from any contamination from material nature. It nourishes your body and gives it a special current that will deflect any reaction that is coming close to it. It is a no-go area. Just like a fence that is being electrified. don't go near there. This person you are seeing is living is inside the prasad of the Lord. His life is Lord prasad. His breathing is prasad. His talking is prasad. His actions are prasad. And his food is also prasad. Everything he does is the mercy of the Lord. Is sustained by the mercy of the Lord. Persons like that, don't go near the material nature. Please, just pass by. If you don't want to humiliate yourself, don't go. You are big. Then the average said the material world is full of contaminations. And one who is immunized by accepting prasadam of the Lord, food offered to Vishnu, is saved from the attack. Whereas one who does not do so becomes subjected to contamination. Yes. But this is the process that these things happen. The human beings, look at the diagram, they subsist, all living beings, they subsist on full grains, okay? They eat full grains. And full grains are produced from rains, okay? You all know. Rains are produced by performance of Jagya. If everybody is doing his prescribed duties, automatically the demigods in charge of rain, they release the rain. And the seeds are already there, the soil is already there given by Krishna, and the seeds will germinate. And when this thing is germinated by performance, when the things begin to grow, when you are doing that, your prescribed duty, you are actually performing the jagya. And that jagya, therefore, is born out of prescribed duty. The jagya for a sannyasi is different from that of a grihastha, and that of a vaishya, and that of a Sudra. And a brahmachari own is different from all others. And the brahmanas own are different from Kshatriya. Just every varna and ashram has its own prescribed duties. So prescribed duties, when properly performed under the prescription of the Vedas, that means following the Vedic formula, the Vedas that are directly spoken by the Lord, the directions given by the Lord, that's what is meant by Vedic injunction. It is the Supreme Lord that gives the Vedas. And by acting according to the Vedic injunctions, the Lord is pleased and human being becomes immunized. So this is the cycle. Human beings subsist on food grains. All living beings subsist on food grains. Grains are produced by rains, and the rains are produced by performance of Jagya. Jagya is born of prescribed duty. Prescribed duties are within the Vedas, and the Vedas are coming from the Supreme Personality. So this is the arrangement that the Lord, universal arrangement, the Lord has already made. So when these grains are eaten by human beings, it transforms into semen. And this semen is transferred into the woman's body by man. Mr. Man transferred the semen into Mrs. Woman's body. And from Mrs. Woman's body, a child is generated. And the child comes out, and he comes to sustain on the air and everything else, while in the womb is also sustained by the arrangement of the Lord. It generates the placenta, ties it to the mother's womb, and the child eats through the mother's. What the mother is eating, the child gets the nourishment. This is the arrangement of the Lord. So it is the Lord that is maintaining everyone since time immemorial. He is the one, only him is maintaining us. But he's maintaining through his universal administrators who have been given some positions, departmental positions, heads of departments, like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all of them, 33 million of them. So this is the arrangement. So it is better to follow this arrangement of the Lord and get gradually purified than to try to follow your arrangement and get stopped. The food grains of vegetables are factually eatables. The human beings eat different kinds of food grains, vegetables, fruit, etc. And the animals eat the refuse of the food grains and vegetables, grass, plants, etc. Human beings who are accustomed to eating meat and flesh must also depend on the production of vegetation in order to eat the animals. Therefore, ultimately, we have to depend on the production of the field and not on the production of big factories. The field production is due to sufficient rain from the sky, and such rains are controlled by demigods like Indra, sun, moon, etc. And they are all servants of the Lord. The Lord can be satisfied by sacrifices. Therefore, one who cannot perform them will find himself in scarcity. That is the law of nature. Jagya, specifically the Sankirtan Jagya, prescribed for Kali Yuga, prescribed for this age, must therefore be performed to save us at least from scarcity of food supply. So it is our contribution to the planet to do Harinam, Sankirtan. The people might be ignorant of it, but this is the Jagya recommended for this age, and we are aware of it. We becoming aware of it is not by accident. It's by the special arrangement of the Lord. So it is our duty to make sure that Harinam Sankirtan is happening. That's why our gurus are constantly insisting on doing Harinam Sankirtan. Even when they are still very old, more than 80 years, they are still doing Harinam Sankirtan. They facilitate Harinam Sankirtan. They arrange for buses for Harinam Sankirtan. Just to tell you the importance of Harinam Sankirtan. Because those other Jagyas, we cannot perform them perfectly again. Because there are no enough opulence to even do it. Because of the thievery mentality of modern day leaders. People are stealing all the resources, and we don't have enough we are to perform the Jagya as recommended. Moreover, the mantras cannot be properly chanted because Brahmanas are not following rules and regulations again. They just do it artificially to give impression. They are doing impression management. Make you feel that they are doing the right thing, but they themselves they know. Therefore, the recommended Jagia for this age is the Sankirtan Jagia, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Ja. So anywhere you are, it doesn't matter you are a householder, you are working. When there is an arrangement for Harinam Sankirtan, just plan yourself. If it is Saturday evening, you can participate. If you are working every day, Saturday evening, you create the time to participate in the Jagia. And if you are an independent worker, you just create time, just know the schedule, then you just go and join. Harinam Sankirtan is the only way. It's the recommended process for Jagia for this age. And that's why you see, read the translation of the Sister Second Prayer. You see that this is ultimate. You see? So let us take it very serious. It appears so simple, but simple as it looks, it produces all the desired results. So Harinam Sankirtan, yeah. So verse 15. Kama Brahmo Bhavan Vidi Brahma Shara Samum Bhavan Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Jage Pratisitam. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendent is eternally situated in the heart of sacrifice. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas. We say, Krishna himself arranges that anyone who does the activities prescribed in the Vedas, according to the Vedas and Ashram, will be gradually purified. They'll be purified and they'll be gradually elevated. This is the whole arrangement. God is not so insensitive that just bring, boom, unless you are a pure devotee, you cannot go. No. He knows that different living entities are on different level of consciousness. And he had made the arrangements to accommodate everyone according to his level. So it is left for us to know the level we are with all sincerity and act accordingly. If we know that we are not sannyasis and we are householders, anything you are doing, just do it with regulations according to the scripture. If you want to go into business, even though it is a business, there are businesses against the regulations that bring fast money. You ignore those regulations, those businesses, and the money that comes with it. You ignore that one. And you can do a business that does not violate the rules and regulations. Yes. And if you are doing that duty with all your heart sincerely, and when you get surplus, when you remove your expenses, whatever you get, you give some as donation in the service of the Lord. They say such a person is better than a charlatan meditator or somebody who takes sannyasi for the sake of making a living. It is very subtle now. It's very, very, very difficult. That is the challenge for those who are in those ashrams. Because money will come to test your sincerity. And before you realize, you start keeping money. When you keep the money, you change it to dollars. When it becomes big to a certain extent, you want to visit your father in the village. You go and secretly open a bank account, begin to put money. Already you have started deviating. All the while, material nature is watching you. Material nature is watching you. Now you get big money. You go and open an account. You'll be putting money. Any donation you get, you put it. That donation is for you to facilitate ongoing projects. That's why Krishna sent the donation to come through you. But you absorb it and you want to store it. He will arrange for you to enjoy it also. You see, and therefore devotees who can do simple businesses, especially householder devotees. They should do businesses and be satisfied with that business. You want a sincere sweeper on the street is better than a charlatan meditator. Are you hearing that? Who meditates just for the sake of making a living. And we say these people complicate preaching processes, especially in India. The saffron cloth is known that is a cloth for innocence. So some whimsical persons, they just go and buy saffron cloth and dress like a devotee without any of the qualifications of a devotee. But they pretend, then they go begging because people easily give, thinking that those who wear those clothes are sadhus, holy people. When you give them, you get blessings. So people easily give. And by that, there are some of these people who will buy different demigod pictures. They put in a bag, they walk, and anywhere the good place, they sit down. And they arrange all the deities, bring them out, and keep them there. Then they will be there as if they are meditating. Then when people are passing, they say, hey, me, I'm a Ganesh worshiper. Me, I'm a Durga worshiper. Me, I'm a social person. When they look, they see their deity, the deity they worship there. Oh, they go and they throw some coins there. In the mood of, I'm feeding my idol. Let me give some money to my idol. My idol will do all the work for me. So they go and drop some coins there. And they pass. They drop. By the end of the day, the charlatan meditator will now gather all the whatever they have dropped there. And he goes to the house and he changes his clothes. Dress like a normal person, go to club, go carry women, go to restaurants, eat whatever I like. It's a business. He's doing it as a business. So a sincere sweeper is better than a charlatan meditator. Or a grihasta, sincere grihasta, is better than an insincere sannyasi. So it is not a matter of the dress. It's not the dress you wear that Krishna actually looks. It is your consciousness. So let's work on our consciousness and take advantage of these declarations here and revelations and clarifications by Srila Prabhupada in this purpose and become better devotee for ourselves, for the movement, and for others. You got it? So that is it. Prescribed duties are enjoined in the Vedas. So it is not out of place for a householder to sell fruits. Like these days, you see that opposite, just adjacent to the Jagannath temple, some Kami has opened some vegetable shops. Before Anandini, that Mataji was doing, and people were buying, but somehow she has stopped. A Kami has opened a nice joint and arranged the fruits very nicely. And it's only fruit that this Kami is selling. Only fruits. He just focus on fruits, different kind of fruits. And he has studied the environment that these people are vegetarians. Hare Krishna people are vegetarians. If I sell nice fruits, they will buy. It's an organization and many people are coming. If I get a spot there and I sell these fruits, everybody will buy from me. And by that, I will make my money. And truly, if a devotee comes and see that somebody is selling the fruits are nice, he will buy. He doesn't need to go far away to go and look for fruits. So devotees who, householders who have that intelligence, since they have responsibilities to do, they should strategize and do some sincere work, and Krishna will sustain them. Yes. And when they offer the fruits, they will be purified and at the same time immunized from the onslaughts of the three modes of material nature. So while doing their work, they will be gradually elevated. So this is a big formula. It is all in the Vedas. And it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead that is the author of the Vedas. Vedas are coming from the Supreme Lord. Inside the Vedas, the prescribed duties are enjoined. Okay? And by doing those prescribed duties, one gets whatever he wants and is moving towards the ultimate goal at the same time. So this one is here, jagya or sacrifice. You should know that the sacrifice is actions that recognize the Supreme Lord and his agents. Actions that are regulated by, the recognition of those who supplying material amenities and the Supreme Controller. You see, they are born of prescribed duties. You see, if we are doing our prescribed duties properly, then all that we need for our sustenance will be provided by the Lord. It is not how much we jump from here to here that we make it. You can do a simple thing and the Lord will bless it and you'll be there. Okay? It's how to become a Karma Yogi. Verse. Okay, yes. Everyone is dependent on food grains. Everyone. Grains grow from the earth, but their growth is dependent on rain. Okay? Rain comes from the performance of Jagyas offered to Indra. The inspiration and direction to perform such Jagya comes from the Vedas, because the Vedas describe one's prescribed duties. The followers of the Vedic system, therefore, perform sacrifice to Indra, which results in rain, which produces grains that we depend upon. The Vedas come directly from Lord Vishnu's breathing. Thus, the link is established for an attached materialist dependent on food ultimately means dependent on Vishnu. Anybody who is eating food to survive means it's depending on Vishnu for his survival, because all these are coming from, food is coming from Vishnu. The all-pervading transcendence, the personality of Godhead, being absolute, is non-different from the art of sacrifice. Gradually, the follower of the Vedas understand that Vishnu is above the demigods, because he's one who empowers the demigods. Okay? In other words, Indra's power to produce rain is supplied by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chandra's power to nourish the vegetation is supplied by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all the demigods, they get their power from the Lord. So this understanding gradually blossoms into realization that Vishnu is the only true object of worship. Krishna ends this description of Karma Kanda in the next verse. The next verse is verse 16. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati haya agau indriya rama mugam parta sajivati. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, thus established by the Vedas, certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. Somebody should read the purport. Somebody should read the purport.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Carry on.
The purport.
Yeah.
The Mammonist philosophy of work very hard and enjoy self gratification is condemned herein by the Lord. Therefore, for those who want to enjoy this material world, the above mentioned cycle of performing yajnas is absolutely necessary. One who does not follow such regulations is living a very risky life, being condemned more and more. By nature's law, this human form of life is specifically meant for self-realization in either of the three ways, namely Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga. There is no necessity of rigidly following the performances of the prescribed yajnas for the transcendentalists who are above vice and virtue. But those who are engaged in sense gratification require purification by the above mentioned cycle of yajna performances.
Wait first. They say there is no necessity of following the performances of the prescribed yajnas for the transcendentalists who are above vice and virtue. But those who are engaged in sense gratification require purification by the above mentioned cycle of yajna performances. You all understand it clearly? I think it's very clear.
Yes, Prabhu.
For the transcendentalists, there's no necessity of doing it. They're already watering the root. So automatically the leaves and the branches and the twigs will be nourished. Okay? They're already watering the root.
Yes.
That is the transcendentalists. But those who want to gratify the senses, who are addicted to sense gratification, who are enamored by the allurements of the sense gratification in the material world, it is a must that they do this yajna according to the prescribed duties enjoined in the Vedas. So it is very important. There is no shortcut. As long as you have desire for sense aggrandizement, sense gratification, you must do these yajnas. Otherwise, you incur sin. To the extent that if you don't offer your food before you eat it, that one, you are eating sin also. So this is a very serious thing. So it's prescribed duties for everyone. Everyone. Continue.
There are different kinds of activity. Those who are not Krishna conscious are certainly engaged in sensory consciousness. Therefore, they need to execute pious work. The yajna system is planned in such a way that sensory conscious persons may satisfy their desires without becoming entangled in the reaction of sense gratificatory work. The prosperity of the world depends not on our own efforts, but on the background arrangement of the Supreme Lord, directly carried out by the demigods. Therefore, yajnas are directly aimed at the particular demigods mentioned in the Vedas. Indirectly, it is the practice of Krishna consciousness, because when one masters the performance of yajnas, one is sure to become Krishna conscious. But if by performing yajnas one does not become Krishna conscious, such principles are counted as only moral codes. One should not, therefore, limit his progress only to the point of moral codes, but should transcend them to attain Krishna consciousness. Hare
So,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So when they say moral code here, when you say moral code here, what comes to your mind? Oyeka God, Jehovah. What comes to your mind when the moral code is mentioned there? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Don't think. The first thing that comes to your mind, say it. When you heard moral code, what is the first thing that comes into your mind?
The do's and don'ts.
Of given by who? Oyeka God, you are thinking. So instead of you to tell us what just flashed into your mind, Purushottam Yatra, what comes to your mind when they say moral codes? So what he's saying here is that,
I think
huh? Okay, go on.
my mind is about the rules and regulation of the yajna on
The platform of Kamakanda.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, this moral code here is referring to contemporary religion. Contemporary religion. That is the religiosity for economic development. The regulations brought into our activities to regulate our activities so that when we make money, we will not incur sin. There is a process, a formula for us to pass in order to a regulative formula for us to pass. Don't do this, do this. If you want this, do this, do this, do that. Don't do this, avoid this, do this. Then you follow those regulations. They are moral codes. So that when you get your sense gratificatory objects and you gratify, because you have passed through the recommended process, you don't attract sinful reaction. But what the Bible is saying here is that we should not be satisfied being on that platform, following moral codes in terms of religiosity for economic development. Because economic development is for sense gratification. Religiosity for economic development for sense gratification. But after so much of sense gratification, there must be liberation. But the general mass of people are after religiosity for economic development for sense gratification. The liberation part is cut off. So Srila Prabhupada is telling us that we should not stop at sense gratification. When we do these moral codes and we get some economy, some money, then we gratify the senses according to the Vedic injunction. We should not stop there. we should be thinking, while gratifying the senses, we should be thinking that this is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to liberate myself, because these regulative activities, if they produce good results is binding, as much as bad result is binding. So this is a platform of reward and punishment, reward and punishment, reward and punishment. These are the moral codes. If you do like this, if you do like this, if you do like this, you will go to heaven to enjoy. This religiosity will take you to heaven to enjoy. If you do like this and do like this, you go to hell to suffer. How many of you want to suffer? Everybody raise your hands. Everybody keep quiet. So nobody want to suffer. How many of you want to enjoy? Everybody raise your hand. Everybody want to enjoy. Okay? So then, if you want to enjoy, avoid doing this and follow this way. So this is religiosity for economic development for sense gratification. Now, after sense gratification, we should aim at liberation, but people are not aiming at liberation. So it's like Prabhupada is saying here that we should not stop at the level of moral codes. We should eventually rise to the level of liberation from material bondage. And that can be done through the process of Krishna consciousness. Understand? And that is the yoga ladder.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
This moral code, Yama Niyama, does it refer to it, or this is different?
No, this is different. This is different. This one is the reward and punishment level, those activities that will take you to heaven ultimately. Those for those who want to gratify the senses, the regulations are given to them. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do this. Do some charity, do like this. When you get your money, thou shalt not kill, like the 10 Commandments, for instance. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not. These rules and regulations, they are on the platform of reward and punishment. Reward and punishment. If you do this good, you go to heaven to enjoy. If you are a Muslim, you go to heaven. Then you get how many virgins you enjoy. So you want to go and enjoy those virgins. Whether 77 virgins or I don't know, I've forgotten the figure. If you are a Muslim, you fight. You fight for Allah. You kill for Allah. Then when you do that killing and you also get killed in the process, you go to heaven. When you go to heaven, paradise, they give you 77 virgins also to enjoy. So you want to go and enjoy those virgins. So you are following what they tell you to do, what they tell you to avoid, following the rules and regulations, then you are ready to go and die when there is opportunity. When people don't want to become Muslims, you say, yes, in the name of Allah, I want to spread Islam, I want to spread religion. Then you go and invade the village, kill people, arrest the rest, and if you don't become a Muslim, we kill you, then you become, okay, I will follow them, start doing Allah Akbar. Then you are free. Otherwise, in the process, they die, they don't care, because if you die, you will still go to heaven. These rules and regulations, moral codes on the platform of reward and punishment. This is what Prabhupada is actually referring to here. Not Yama and Yama. That, listen now, the Jagya system is planned in such a way that sensory conscious persons may satisfy their desires without becoming entangled in the reactions of sense gratification work. Sense gratificatory work. The prosperity of the world depends not on our own efforts, but on the background arrangement of the Supreme Lord directly carried out by the demigods. It is the Lord who is actually sustaining them, who owns all the vegetations, all the fruits we have in this world, who brought the seeds. How did the seed come about? Do we know? No. The earth on which you put it How did it come about? Do we know? No. We come to meet it. The air that we are breathing for all our life without payment is the most expensive substance. It is freely given. Who wants it? We don't know. The sunlight we enjoy, the sunlight we are enjoying every day. The moon rays that nourish the vegetation. Who gives it? We don't know. We are just enjoying. It is the Lord. So the Lord is in the background arrangement. That sustenance that we don't even want to think about, all what we know is that we have gotten this thing free and we are enjoying them. That is, the arrangement is coming from God. Understand? It is not by our efforts. It is not by our efforts that we are getting things. Anybody who thinks like that, his thinking is corrupted by a virus. Corrupted. No, vital information resource under siege. His rational faculty is under siege. Vital information resource under siege. That is the meaning of virus. There is virus in his consciousness. That is virus has entered his intelligence. To not see the Lord, but you are enjoying everything, and even a child know that without this thing cannot survive. Without sunlight, water, moonlight, earth, the grains therein. We want to enjoy the tomato. How the seed come about, we don't know. We want to enjoy coconuts. How look me to be. We want to enjoy all the fruits in this world, but we don't know how the seeds come up. This background arrangement made by the Lord. Anybody who is ready to be conscious can just see these things clearly. The people are so unconscious, carried away by sense gratification. They have seen senses that are located by somebody and they are enjoying the senses. They don't even care for the designer. And sense gratification is the goal of life. This is animal life. Human beings means the rational faculty is activated. Intelligence is activated. You see, so we should not live like that. We should not live like that. And let us read more. Therefore, the Jagias are directly aimed at the particular demigods mentioned in the Vedas, because it is God who positioned those people to enter them. Indirectly, it is the practice of Krishna consciousness or God consciousness, because when one masters the performance of Jagya, one is sure to become Krishna conscious. But if by performing Jagya, one does not become Krishna conscious, such principles are counted as only moral codes. You see? If these regulated activities do not bring us to the doorstep of Bhakti, that means they are just moral codes. That which cannot gradually elevate you, purify you and elevate you to Bhakti, they are moral codes. Therefore, yoga is not added. It's ordinary Kamakanda activity. So activities on ordinary Kamakanda, they are called moral codes. But yoga is added when there is a desire to link those activities to a superior authority. That is when yoga begins. But otherwise, these things are below yoga. Any action below yoga is just moral code, Kamakanda activities. Moral codes. Moral codes. Kamakanda activities are also of gradation, because Kamakanda activities can lead to the doorstep of yoga. That's Kama Yoga. For a start, Kama Yoga becomes Sakama Kama Yoga. Sakama Kama Yoga becomes Niskama Kama Yoga. Niskama Kama Yoga intensifies into Jnana Yoga. And Jnana Yoga intensifies into Astanga Yoga, all culminating in Bhakti Yoga or Bhagavad Arpita Niskama Kama Yoga. Kamakanda is Deva Arpita Niskama Kama Yoga. Okay. What is our time now? we started late, so we want to add a little time. Then let us get up to verse 19 before we go. So now is verse 17, isn't it? Verse 17. This is a new session. This is a new session. Performing detached work to set examples. This is a new session. Performing detached work to set example. Performing detached work to set example. Okay, let us stop. Let us stop so that but we'll be sure to finish this chapter on Sunday. We'll try to finish this chapter on Sunday, yes. But for now, let us just stop. 17. And tomorrow, on Saturday, we'll get to 30. We'll try to reach to 30. Then on Sunday, we'll reach 40. Then we'll wait for next week, Thursday, to finish it. Hare Krishna. There are some questions and commentaries on these points. It is very, very critical point here.
Hare Krishna, my question is personal. So I'll love to ask you the question later.
Offline. Okay.
But although it's not a secret something,
but just as you said, is something that is personal. Let us leave it personal. Now listen. Okay. Let me read something from somewhere.
Okay.
He lives in vain because human life is meant for spiritual elevation. That is 16. I'm reading some commentary somewhere on 16. He lives in vain because human life is meant for spiritual elevation, and he has wasted that opportunity. He's engaging solely in animalistic endeavors, ensures he's taking a lower berth. The performance of karma kanda sacrifices, however, will gradually purify him by redirecting his desires from concentration on the temporal to concentration on the eternal. The direction is given. Look up. There is some high authority. If you please them, they will give you whatever you are wanting, you are looking for. Here is how a follower of the Vedic system progresses. Instead of trying to enjoy his senses unrestrictedly, a follower of the Vedas surrenders to Vedic authority, which then regulates his actions and engages him in karma kanda sacrifices. The goal of those sacrifices is to attain prosperity, either in this life or a future life. Desiring abundance, he may perform a sacrifice to give birth to his son, to reap a bountiful harvest, or to overcome a disease. Those are considered low-level sacrifices because their fruits are limited to this life. Gradually, however, by associating with Brahmanas priests, he hears about sacrifices that will award him birth on the higher heavenly planets. Simultaneously, as he lives in the world, he inevitably experiences a variety of miseries. Family members die, droughts occur, his riches are plundered, difficulties must over time arise because that is the nature of this material world. He is punished to seriously contemplate Swagaloka. The material nature pushes him to think of a place where there will be less suffering. So material nature will do our work. Why is satisfied? Why is satisfied with wealth, a son, or health, good health in this life? I can go to Swagaloka, drink soma rice, dance with beautiful women, and wander blissfully throughout the beautiful heavenly gardens. Why live for just 100 years when I can live for thousands of years in the heavenly planets? He begin to think like that because the miseries of this place, this earth, will make him to think that he should go to a place where there is less misery, where there is prolonged enjoyment, like heaven. So he develop heavenly consciousness. Karma kanda sacrifices meant to attain either short-term or long-term results are born of the mode of passion. So sacrifices in the mode of passion. They are performed for selfish sensual enjoyment. Long-term sacrifices, however, are they are a step further on the path of Bhakti because they are based on the implicit acceptance of the soul's eternity. The performer of the sacrifice will drink. He will think, I am not this body. Therefore, I will perform opulent sacrifices, leave this body behind, and attain heaven. Within that thought is the seed of eternal spiritual life. Then he hears from the priest that there is distress, even in heaven. Indra fears attack on his kingdom. Thus he realizes that he too will experience fear, even in Swaga. Despite having fulfilled his material desires, he recognizes that his heart is still devoid of true satisfaction. Gradually, the truth of materialistic life or material reality dawns on him. Birth and death are everywhere, and the material world is temporary, frustrating and miserable. Even in heaven, there is birth and death. Over time, he becomes receptive to the philosophy of transcendence. This is how gradually it gets purified, because the seed of eternity is in the desire to go to heaven, a higher place with less miseries. Having heard from his priests about sacrifices and having experienced the results, he has become more frustrated. He has also become more detached from material life, because performing sacrifices has allowed him to taste the happiness of sacrificing the hard-earned result of his work. His goal slowly dissolves, or his goal slowly evolves. Yes, slowly begin to think of higher goals. He no longer think of attaining more material happiness, but of leaving the material world entirely. Now, after having had countless, verses glorifying Kamakanda, sacrifices, and their heavenly results, is ready to consider the Jnana Kanda. He wants knowledge about his relationship with the Supreme, which is non-material, spiritual. He wants spiritual life because he has known that the soul is eternal now. Thus, it's no longer a Kamakandi, but a Kama Yogi. A Kama Yogi is someone who has accepted transcendence as his objective. Yes, therefore, we want to link with that Supreme. There are two types of Kama Yogis: Brahmavadis or impersonalists, and devotees. Each may be on one of these two levels: Sakama, with material desires, or Niskama, free from material desire. If a Brahmavadi associates with merciful and powerful devotees, he can abandon his attempts to reach the Brahma and aspire loving service to Krishna. Both types of Kama yogis progress gradually from Sakama to Niskama by dutifully performing their prescribed duties. As their realization increases, they also become more detached from matter. Thus, they leave their performance of Sakama Kama Yoga and climb to the next rung of the yoga ladder and become Niskama Kama Yogis. Performance of dutiful detached work is called Niskama Kama Yoga. Although a devotee who practices Niskama Kama Yoga possesses a different understanding and is therefore differently motivated than a non-devotee practitioner. In both cases, the inspiration to work is not a fruity desire. Both work can have different chagyas. And while progressing in this way, however, the Niskama Kama Yogi may conclude, my prescribed duties are meant to bring me material rewards. I no longer have material desires. I don't want a son or money or a nice house. I have no desire to go to heaven anymore or to Swagaloka. I know I am not my body. I'm a spirit soul. Because I no longer have material desires, I do not need to perform any prescribed duties. And therefore, in the following verses 17 to 32, Krishna explained why one who is freed from material desires should nevertheless perform his prescribed duties. This is the content of this 17 to 35. You don't have material desires now, but you cannot go into the forest to go and sit down and meditate. You must still perform your prescribed duties, nevertheless. Then those verses constitute 17 to 35. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. They have all gone safe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. They have all gone safe.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Oh, yeah. Isana Goranga, when did you come? When did you enter the class?
Please, I join along the I join along the class. So that time you were reading.
Which verse was I reading?
Oh, it was. Let me check.
You people are dragging us back. I'm afraid of bringing some kind of teacher. So, because yes, some teachers are very sensitive. If the experience is not good,
it was test 12. Yeah, in charge of the various necessity of life.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you come long time. So one thing I want to beg all of you that for me, no problem. The attendance can be like this. But there are certain teachers, it takes us a lot of struggle to get them. And when they come and they experience this kind of attendance, they become demoralized. And next time when we approach them, they will think that it is going to be the same thing. Then they will not want to come. So we want to beg all of you to boost your attendance. Okay? You should try your best to start the class.
Yes.
Please, we are begging you to don't extend it to the next teacher because they'll be demoralized.
All right. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Jai.
See you on Saturday.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.